Hey, welcome back to A-Aron Reacts and welcome to this channel. If you are here for the first time, I want to remind you that always in the description there's a link to the original performance and artist. Definitely check that out, as well as ways to support this channel. That said, I had done Jacob Collier, I think I'm pronouncing that right now, maybe-ish, a while back, and I have been anxious to do more of him. And this one, several of you said, this is incredible. So I definitely have to check it out. This is him improvising National Symphony Orchestra. So that should be really interesting. And so, yeah, I've seen his name crop up quite a bit lately. And so, in miscellaneous places. And so, I feel kind of shameful that I don't know more of him. So we're going to dive into this and let's see where it takes us. So without further ado, let's get right to it.
Thank you all. So those of you who are familiar with this concert series will know one thing for sure, and that is that the man who is responsible for my presence and your presence and ultimately all our presence, whose name is Ben Folds, he is a man of great esteem, and one of the things that I fell in love with watching him do as a kid was improvising with the orchestra. Yeah? Has anyone seen these legendary videos? People have seen it? And so, I've known Ben for a few years now, and we've been sort of back and forth online. We only met for the first time in person about 3 days ago. It was cool. It was good. And Ben wanted to challenge me to something which I've never done before in my entire life, which I kind of enjoy in theory. And the idea was, what if I stood there and tried to create something with the orchestra that has no plan, no sheet music, no rule book, and no prior discussion?
Ooh, this is going to be exciting.
To this. And so what I will now attempt to do, with your grace and permission, of course, is to try to create something from scratch with these masterful musicians that you see before you, right before your eyes.
I'm excited.
Okay. Okay. So it seems prudent to begin by giving everybody a note. Yeah? Everyone deserves a note. Let's see. Basses, if you could play E. Yeah, I like that. Cello, B. Let's have a G sharp in the horns. Yeah. Let's have a C sharp in the clarinet. Let's double the C sharp in the violas, actually. Do C sharp is cool. Yeah. Let's have a F sharp in the seconds. Maybe an octave down. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. Let's have. I'll split the first into two. We'll have A sharp. Let's have it. Yeah, maybe just down the octave. Yeah, that's cool. And then D sharp. Yeah, that's lovely. Okay, and now let's have a flutes. Let's have you on B. Yeah, that's lovely. Okay. Tuba feels prudent to be an E as well. Ba. Yeah, that's really warm and lovely. Trombones could be a B just above there. Trumpets, there are three of you. Let's have C sharp, B, A sharp. Yeah, that's lovely. Okay. Bassoons. G sharp is cool. G sharp. Up the octave. Yeah, great. Timpani E. Yeah. Let's see. We'll say it again. Oboes, of course. Okay. I always forget. B is cool. B. Yeah. Great. Can we have a snare drum roll, please? Snare drum roll. Just a quiet one. Yeah. Oh, that feels good. It feels good. Could you play a low E, like a tremolo E, with the pedal down? Yeah. And harp, you can glissando in a B major scale. B major scale. Okay. Louder. Quieter. Okay, that's a good place to start.
Wow, okay. Whew. First of all, he clearly has perfect pitch. Secondly, I was a little, like, at first when he started, I actually took some notes because it started to get too much to remember. So I wrote down the notes he was doing in order. And he started with the E, B, G sharp. So it's clearly an E major triad, E major chord. But then he added on a C sharp, then an F sharp, then an A sharp, then a D sharp. And he solidified a number of things on the low E with the basses and the tubas, and the timpani and others. So, clearly he's centering around an E. And if you put all that together, it's actually an E major 13, which is quite rich. And there's a lot going on there. So I'm really interested in where he's taking this. And I also realized it's also the B major scale, right as he was, essentially telling the harp to run up glissandoing across the B major scale. So this is actually kind of the fourth chord of B major in a Lydian fashion for you music buffs. So there is some method to this madness, but it's completely rich and kind of somewhat chaotic, but it works. So it'll be very interesting where he takes this, but this is fascinating.
Okay, that's a good place to start. It's a good place to start. Fantastic. So,
and I'll also just comment, like, where you would hear that type of thing is, like, to me, like modal jazz comes to mind, like Miles Davis, Herbie Hancock, some of that type of stuff.
What I'd like to try is something. I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to do this in general, but this particular thing. So while you're playing those notes, I'm going to give you a signal, and I think the signal will be this. And the further I go from here, the more out of tune you have to play. Right?
Oh!
I'm so interested to see how this goes. It could be really bad. So okay, let's start with just the firsts. In fact, just the firsts. You're on D sharp, right? Okay, let's see the D sharp. Okay, ready? That's great. One more time.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, all right, that's cool. Okay, thank you very much. I'm really intrigued to hear what that sounds like with everybody. Can everybody play? But being in tune is way overrated, I'm serious. Out of tune is where it's at. Okay, so does everyone remember your note that you just had? Yeah, let's see everybody's note what you just had. And. Okay, so I'm going to stand up here like a professional. And then as I bend my arms, whoever I'm looking at with my eyes, that's how people look, isn't it? Their eyes. If I'm looking at you and I do this, then go out of tune. You know the drill. Okay, here we go. Everybody? Wow, okay.
Fascinating.
Very cool. Right. So, okay, let's put that chord at the end of the piece, all right? Put that chord at the end of the piece.
Okay.
For the beginning of the piece, I want to build up a groove, yeah? That's how the best things are made. Start with a groove. Okay. Let's see.
This is so fascinating.
Harp. on D, octaves apart. Dum, 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 dum. Yeah. Is there a vibraphone? Cool. So every 4 notes, can you play just a constant D in the middle of the vibraphone? Boom. Yeah. Actually, can you play the D below? Dum, and then dum, dum. Oh, I really like that. Okay. So keep that going. Let's see. Basses. If you could just do a pizzicato G. Dum, dum. Yeah. Cello. D, B, D. Yeah, cool. Okay.
Now we've got a G major
Keep
triad.
going. So, the song I have in mind that could fit with this has kind of 2 main chords, and one of them is that chord, and the other is if you go 1 note up in the G major scale. So, dum dum dum, right? Dum dum dum. Can you play that? E C E dum. Basses. Yeah. And back down again. Yeah, that's lovely. Back up. Okay. Now cello and bass to start. You guys are going to be going a while. I like.
So these 2 chords often have a relationship with one another, right? It's a C major and a G major. He starts on the G. And so the C is either the 4 of the G or the G is the 5 of the 1. So it'll be really interesting because these are very common relationships. Very common, actually.
Okay. Now cello and bass to start. You guys are going to be going a while. I like it too much. Keep it going. Keep it going. Cool. Yeah. Okay, I want to build a chord. I kind of like chords. To build a chord on top of this, and we're going to start with a really high D over here.
Okay, I had to stop and go back. I got a phone call. My wife is picking up food, so I got that phone call, so I had to go back.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, I want to build a chord. I kind of like chords. To build a chord on top of this, and we're going to start with a really high D over here. U5. Yeah. And then the C next door. Let's have a B over here. Can I split you? I want to split you in 2. I'll have a B and an A. That's all right. Oh, that's lovely. And let's have a high G up here. In fact, I'll split you in 2. We'll have an F sharp and a G. F sharp, G. That's really lovely. Who's an F? Are you F sharp? Okay, cool. No, that's fine. F sharp and G, right? Okay. Can all the F sharps, everyone else keep playing, it sounds lovely. F sharps just go down to an F natural. Ready? And. And now down to an E. Yeah. Back up to F sharp. That's so nice. Let's have the cello and basses back. 2, 3, 4. Dons.
Yeah, so I want to interrupt here because I think it's cool because what he's done, and he did essentially the same thing before, he's using these modal chords where it's very rich, right? You've got a D, C, B, I mean like right next to each other, these notes, which creates this tension, but they're part of the same scale, which is part of G major here. So as he plays the piano, you could literally go up to the piano and play any of the white notes other than the F sharp and essentially play the G major scale. And you could essentially play anything and it would work with this, which is just fascinating. So if you actually look, I imagine he'll probably be playing the G major scale. All white but that one. F sharp. Okay, we can't see it. Never mind then. But you could do it yourself. Got stuck.
Okay. Strings except for basses and cello, stop. So you guys keep going. Can we hear that tremolando? Tremolando instead. 2, 3, 4. That's lovely. Okay. Okay, everybody stop, everybody stop. I like that very much, very much. I'd like to do it a little bit slower.
So that's like cluster voicing, which again is very common in the modal jazz. I keep going back in my head to kind of like Sketches of Spain, Miles Davis, Gil Evans. Like this is really neat stuff. Yeah.
Okay, everybody stop, everybody stop. I like that very much, very much. I'd like to do it a little bit slower.
Oh, that's nice.
So we're gonna hear that. 2, 3, 4. I like that very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so far so good, so far so good. So, I mean, I could literally do this for hours, but I know I'm on a strict time limit. So I have one more thing to request, and this is of the woodwinds and brass, because since you've just been sitting there so patiently. I'd like very much to hear the flutes and the oboes play a melody within this time that goes 1, 2, ba-da-do-da.
Ooh.
Right? Which is D, B, G, E flat.
Ooh.
Let's say that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're good. They're really good. Turns out I wasn't wasting my time with you oboes. I'm sorry I neglected you earlier on. It's very good. Okay, on that last chord, on the ba, I'd like to do like a massive chord here. And the chord is as follows. E flat, E flat. Let's see. How many clarinets have we got? 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. Let's do C, right?
I'll have to take notes again, I think.
Actually, half horns on a G, half horns on an A. You two on an A. You two on a G. Cool. D flat, oh, sorry, D flat. Up the octave. Yeah. Tuba. E flat. E flat. Trombone B flat. G, trumpets is fine, G. Okay, and stop. So here's how it's going to go. It's going to go 1, 2, 3. Better do what? Yeah? Can we hear that? 1, 2, 3. Cool. Lovely. Okay.
It's like something you'd hear from Mahler,
basically
right? Like
everything we need, I think. Right.
How?
So now let's try and do the whole piece, and I'm going to try and sing a song, and I hope it's going to fit with this.
I'm not sure if I got all the notes right, but if I did, that's like a C minor 13 flat 9 or something. It's kind of nutty.
Let's try and do the whole piece, and I'm going to try and sing a song, and I hope it's going to fit with this. I hope. We'll figure it out. Let's begin again with the harp and the vibraphone, which I love so dearly. 1, 2, 3.
Love it. The inner movement. Okay. Masterful.
Okay, let's do that one more time. I know I stand in line until you think you have the time to spend an evening with me. And if you go someplace to dance, I know there's still a chance you won't be leaving with me. And afterwards we drop into a quiet little place and have a drink or two. And then I go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like,
Very
I
cool.
love.
And then he directs the audience. I love it. Oh. Oh yeah. Wow. Bravo. Wow.
Thank you very much.
That was beyond impressive. I mean, that was ridiculous. Oh my goodness. And you know what? I don't think he played the first chord he put together. I don't think it made its way in there. He said he was going to save it for the end. I don't think he did. I don't think it did. I think that's further evidence that this was completely spontaneous. And that is just fascinating. And what rich chords and again, modal structure and putting the, literally building with the group and then commanding, directing the audience as well as the orchestra. I mean, just incredible. Just amazing. And what an experience. This was just next level. This guy is something special. Wow. I love it. That was amazing. Amazing. All right. I think I'll leave it at that. Look, if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do so now. Thank you much, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.